Moises Acuña. Join me in Speak with Success every Tuesdays at 8 p.m. Together, let us conquer the fear. Hello and welcome to the 6th episode of Speak with Success. Tonight is all about how not to forget your script. So we will talk about another common problem we encounter in presenting and speaking. Aside from the stage fright, we also encounter moments where we forget our script and the flow of our talk. Sometimes this usually happens when fear sets in, when you freeze up in front of your laptop during a webinar or in a stage in front of your audience or when you get distracted by your audience. There are a lot of contributing factors, but did you know that memorizing your script contributes to it as well? The first thing we do when we get an invitation to speak is we sit down and write our script. We perfect every last word and we memorize it. Memorizing word for word is a recipe for disaster. Words could go missing every time, even in a memorized speech. And because every single word in a memorized speech is a cue for the next word, everything will fall apart if you miss a word. And when you're unable to speak, panic usually sets in. You freeze, and that makes you forget the entire script. Though some can execute a memorized speech, we should also be careful in expressing the emotions in the message you want to impart, because this is what we usually miss. We may sound robotic in our efforts to flawlessly deliver the speech we memorize. So if memorizing is not ideal, what should we do then? I think it's better if we get familiarized with it instead of memorizing. You should know your talk by heart from start to finish so that if your presentation materials fail, you can still deliver. You can make an outline, but do not write it word for word. Practice what you needed to say out loud, as this will help you imprint it to your memory if you do it repeatedly. You can also practice it with a friend who can give you feedback, because rehearsing your talk several times with the outline or bullet points you made will help you familiarize with it. And this will lessen your worries in thinking what to do and say next when you are speaking. Planning is also important, from knowing how you will craft your script, from learning and familiarizing it by heart, and by rehearsing it regularly, you get to perfect it. It is also very important to plan what to do in case you forget. How do you handle a memory lapse? With this, you can take a sip of water, you can interact with your audience by asking a question, say a joke, you can also summarize what you have just said, or maybe tell the audience you will refer to your notes, because this is much better than panicking and freezing up and pretending nothing is wrong. Forget trying to be perfect, as your audience does not expect perfection from you. What they want is the learnings they will get. Just make sure you maintain eye contact, as it gives you that position of authority. And also, there is one strategy that you can use. You can make a visualization map. You can make a storyboard, since our brain tends to remember things when you visualize it through image. The symbolic pictures will imprint the words of your speech more firmly in your mind as you rehearse. You can also make a note card with views linking them to each part of your talk. So tonight, I will be showing you a sample of a storyboard. So this is what I made for this episode. So as you can see in the illustration, so there are five boards. So I've placed the title, How Not to Forget Your Script, and there are five illustrations. So the first is description. So in this part, this will help me remember to describe everything about the talk tonight, about this episode. So from how not to forget the script that I made. And then the second is more about memorizing. So this will help me to explain why it is not best to memorize in every talk that you make. And on the third board is familiarization, the bullet point. So this will help me tell my audience that it's better to familiarize than to memorize. And then to remind them as well to make bullet points in their presentation. And then the fourth illustration is the planning. So this is where you can learn and you can plan what to do when you have a memory lapse. So this is what will remind me of what I will say in this part. And then the last is the strategy, which is the storyboard. So this is what I'm showing you now, the storyboard. As you can see, a storyboard helps a speaker to know by heart the entire presentation, especially if you are using an illustration to map it out since it is easier to remember. But some uses bullet points and card cues. It doesn't matter what you are using as long as you are comfortable with it. Storyboard I presented is the simplest one I have ever made because my talk for tonight is only short, but expect a wider storyboard if you will be presenting for several hours or for the whole day. You can also write it down to make it more simple and easy to make as long as it will help you. It doesn't matter how it looks like since you will be the one using it anyway. So this is all for tonight, and I hope to see you again Tuesday next week for another episode of Speak with Success. Good night, and thank you. If you need assistance on financial planning, please like and follow Film Life Legazpi City FB page so I can personally assist you when it comes to your insurance and investment needs. You can also send me a friend request on my personal Facebook account, Says Acuña. You can also contact me through my mobile number 0917-717-7248. If you are in need of coaching, inspiration, and motivation in life and your finances, you can like and follow Success Project, bridging connections through growth, collaboration, and self-mastery. For your training and business consultancy needs, you can follow Mindbox Training and Consultancy Solutions, Achieving Beyond Creative Thinking. If you have problems with your finances and you want motivation and inspirations, you can also join the Draining Pockets community and experience how you can change your mindset and achieve abundance in life. And lastly, I hope you can join me again next week for another episode of Speak with Success. Thank you for investing your time to learn again this evening. Thank you and good night.